This is Colin McGuigan for IFLTV. Delighted to be joined by Frank Smith in Ipswich. Frank, how are we?
I'm good, thank you, mate. It's a sunny day in Ipswich. Looks a lot more beautiful in the sun, doesn't it?
How come you've got the Eddie Hearn role these days?
It's probably just trying to help my profile, isn't it?
But you don't really want the profile.
No, but we do so much, don't we? We've got so many shows. We're all over the place. Last week he was in Japan. I was in Mexico. Now I'm here. You know, like, there's so much going on, so many events. We need to sort of share it out. We've got a lot of business as well, like across our whole group of businesses. We've got darts, snooker, 9-ball pool, 400 events a year. So there's a lot going on.
Do you buy into the comments from Team Wardley yesterday that Eddie doesn't really care about Justice Hooney and that's why you're here and he's not?
No, I've been at lots of press conferences in the past. I mean, what are they devaluing me as an individual? Are they saying that I am not? Yeah,
they're basically
really what I take from this. I love Fabio and Mike, and they've really mugged me off there, haven't they? They're saying I'm just irrelevant, which obviously I'm more irrelevant than Eddie. But Eddie will be here on fight night. He is here tomorrow night.
Right, Frank. Let's get straight to it. You were on TalkSport yesterday. I watched the kind of segment, and there was no interaction between yourself and Simon Jordan. I'm actually eagerly awaiting that. But Simon then, when you came off, said, "Oh, the T-boy, it was nice to hear from the T-boy." What did you make of that?
It's very weird. He's a weird bloke. I've gone on TalkSport quite a few times. He's never said a word. He stays really quiet. I don't know whether it's because he doesn't want to entertain me and feels like I'm below him, which is probably what I think it is. But he did not say a word during the whole interview. Like, you wouldn't have even known he was there. Don't know what he was getting paid for during that 15 minutes. And then as soon as I come off, he makes a jibe about being a T-boy. I mean, literally, you are a failed businessman who's ended up on the radio. No disrespect to being on the radio, but don't pipe up calling me a T-boy when you couldn't even make a success. Bear in mind, though, the only thing I will say, I haven't made as much money as he did make, but I also haven't lost as much money as he lost. So I don't really get it, but it's all smiles around it.
Do you have a message for Simon Jordan to kind of entertain a little Frank Smith versus Simon Jordan debate on everything, not just anything in specific?
I feel like he wouldn't stoop. He feels like by talking to me, it's like stooping down to the T-boy level. But I also think he knows that, like, he's a very good talker, and he's very good with opinion. But when it comes to factual matters of running a business in boxing, he hasn't got a Scooby. I mean, a bit like he didn't have a Scooby with the football club he ran in the end, did he?
Frank, there's been some rumours, and I'm going to throw a couple at you. You can tell me yes or no, and you can dive into a bit more on it. I've heard a rumour today, actually I heard it yesterday, sorry, that Matchroom and Boxer will be co-promoting on DAZN going forward. Is that true? Have you heard this rumour?
No. You just said it before then. You said, are you co-promoting with Ben Shalom? I mean, on what planet? Like, unless we want to completely fuck up our business, would we bring him into it? I wish him all the best, honestly. Like, I wish success for people. I've made it very clear my feelings over the years. But unless Eddie's done it and not told me, and if that is the case, I'll be off.
Do you want to ring Eddie really quick just to make sure before this comes out? It would be unbelievable content.
I reckon I might know. But I'm not sure where that's coming. But look, if you're in that position, right, you're making up all sorts of rumours, aren't you? Because you need to save face a little bit. So I'm co-promoting with these guys, co-promoting with these guys. I think, going to do this. I think I've signed a deal with 8 different broadcasters. We're going to go co-exclusive. Like, of course you would. You need to try and save a bit of face.
What do you make of the whole kind of fiasco of Boxer at the moment? No one knows what's going on. Do you think that there might be a potential that they'll sign with DAZN?
I don't think so. I mean, why would any other broadcaster sign them? They haven't made a success out of the broadcast they're on that they call the self-proclaimed, it's the biggest platform. Everyone should sign with us. We're unbelievable. And they can't even make a success of that. So, like, I get what he's doing. He's not going to stand there and go, "Oh, we're fucked." Got to be honest with you, lads. Like, you say to him, "What's going on? We've got some big news." Well, you're not going to go, "Do you know what? I've got to be completely honest with you. We are completely fucked. We're finished." It's not going to say that, is it?
You've been in this game some time now, right? In your honest opinion, what happens with Boxer and where do you think that they'll end up broadcast-wise?
My honest opinion, I think they stay with Sky on a non-exclusive deal on a lot less shows and a lot less money. Because from Sky's perspective, you can't look at the last 4 years and say it's been a success. I mean, you'd have to be blind to say that. I think, though, they've got certain fighters that Sky have invested heavily in, that if the fights make sense, you'd take the fights. But obviously that makes it very difficult to run a business when you've got no set deal, no exclusive deal. That makes it a real hard proposition. Because you're going to fighters and they go, what's your deal? Oh yeah, we do shows every now and then when Sky like them. You know, so I would understand Sky continuing on like a non-exclusive basis on like shows that suit them. That's what I think. Beyond that, I don't see them getting the deal they've had because they haven't made a success out of it.
In terms of Matchroom, Frank, are we expecting any news on new show dates coming soon or anything in the pipeline signing-wise?
Yeah, look, we got a busy schedule. You know, obviously this weekend Justice Huni fights on the Queensbury show. Next weekend we're in New York, the World Championship between Kambosos and Richardson Hitchens. Brilliant fight. Brilliant undercard. Andy Cruz against Mishiro, final eliminator for the IBF world title, with Lomachenko vacating. That sets him up for that world title shot. The weekend after that, you got June 21st in Birmingham. Great card. Galal Yafai defends his interim title. Peter McGrath obviously fights Baluta, that replaced Shabazz Massoud, unfortunately out due to injury. Conor Walker, Liam Taylor. July 5th, Harlem Eubank against Jack Catterall. July 19th as well, you've got the big Jesse Bam Rodriguez show, looking to unify. Amo Williams on there, IBF final eliminator as well. Diego Pacheco takes on Trevor McCumbee. Cardenas, you know, Amari Jones back out as well. So they're our next 4 shows. We're working now on the schedule throughout August. Personally, I want to do less shows in August because I think it's a quieter month. People are on holiday. Ticket sales are tougher in that month. Viewing figures, because people are away. I'd rather steer clear from August as much as possible. Probably see 1 show in August and then have a busy back end of the year. So we're working through that now with DAZN. You know, unquestionably, it's the leading platform in boxing globally. That's why we made the move to DAZN. Excited about what the future holds. And it's a great time to be involved in the sport.
UK or US for the August show?
UK, obviously, looks like Saudi's August 16th as well. There's a lot of talk around that. But yeah, UK show in August and then back out in September with a UK, Mexico, US show as well.
Couple more questions. Do you change the start time for your Pacheco Bam show because of Pacquiao's return on that date against Barrios?
Not really. Look, I think that's obviously a pay-per-view show. I don't see that doing a massive audience, in truth. I understand why they've done it from Barrios, but like they need a big name. Manny Pacquiao is a huge name, obviously, but I think the Bam fight is great value, and I think the subscribers of DAZN, there's a huge number of subscribers on DAZN, and they'll be watching the big show, which is Jesse Bam Rodriguez that night.
Frank, last one. Anthony Joshua, what's the conversations with the team and when do we expect to see him back? We've obviously seen Dillian White pull out of this show. Is there any potential of Dillian White AJ next?
No, he's not fighting Dillian White. I've heard some rumours about Dillian White. If it's true, great fights, but not my business, you know, to talk about it. AJ, I spoke to him earlier. He's obviously had his surgery. He'll be getting back in the gym. He's got to be 100%, and that's always been the focus. But latter part of this year, you'll see him back out. There's big fights to be made. As I've said before, he is the biggest commercial star, especially in UK and European boxing out there, and all of these other heavyweights need him if they want to get paid.
But if Fury doesn't come back, what's the fight you want to make for Anthony Joshua? Give us one name.
I've said it time and time again. I think if Deontay Wilder comes back and wins, that's a huge fight.
Where does that fight happen? US, UK?
UK. The narrative is huge. This sport's all about narrative, isn't it? You know, and that is a fight that's been spoken about for many years. Am I saying it's going to be as big as it was 5 years ago? No, but it's a massive fight, and I believe that's a fight you could possibly see.
Frank Smith, appreciate your time as always.
Colin McGuigan, appreciate your time as always.
Thank you.